Hey there, all you AI trading fans out there. Are you trying to build the next big trading bot? Or maybe you're just curious about how AI is changing finance. Well, either way, get ready, because we're going deep today.
Deep into the how and the why. We're going way past the buzzwords and right to the core of how AI is changing the game when it comes to trading.
That's it. We're not just going to tell you what it can do, we're going to show you exactly how it works. And to help us on this journey, we've got this awesome book, Hands-on AI Trading, with Python, QuantConnect, and AWS.
It really is an awesome book. It's full of great examples. Each one is like a mini case study showing a different way to use AI for real trading problems.
And the best part, this book uses real tools. We're talking QuantConnect, and that's an open source trading platform, and then there's AWS. That's the cloud computing powerhouse, right?
Right.
And they use that for all the really hard AI stuff.
Exactly. That means you listening right now could actually use these tools to test out these ideas.
That's so cool.
It's not just theory, it's hands-on stuff.
All right, so let's unpack this thing. Let's start with the big picture. The first chapter of the book really hits on this idea, quant trading.
Yeah.
Even with the crazy AI algorithms, it's still a mix of art and science.
Yeah, for sure. It's not just about crunching numbers and letting the bots make every decision. There's still that human element, intuition, creativity.
I think that's what makes it interesting.
It really does.
It means there's room for everyone, no matter what your background is, to get involved.
Totally.
So, the book, it covers a bunch of different financial markets, U.S. equities and options, futures, even crypto.
You can think of it like testing your AI strategies in different playgrounds. The ideas still apply, but each market is a little different.
I love that. Okay, so we've got that art and science thing going on, and we've got all our different playgrounds. What else should we have in our toolkit?
Well, chapter 2, that goes over the essentials, the stuff that every quant trader needs to know.
The building blocks.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things is backtesting. It's like watching replays to understand what worked and what didn't in your strategy.
Yeah.
You basically test it out on old data to see how it would have done.
Ah, got it. So like a simulation.
Exactly.
And the book shows you how to do that, right?
It does. Yep. It also shows you how to track all that data and how to put it into charts so you can actually see what's happening.
Oh, the visuals?
Visualizing is so important. It helps you find patterns and understand how your AI is making decisions.
Makes sense. So when you're actually building a strategy, the book talks about two main approaches, data-driven and hypothesis-driven.
Right.
So data-driven is like saying, okay, AI, just find the patterns that make money. I don't even care why they work.
Right. It's about letting the data do the talking. You're not starting with any assumptions. You're just seeing what the AI can find.
But then there's that hypothesis-driven way, right? Where you start with an idea, like a hunch about the market, and then use the AI to test it. Yep. Like, let's say, I think this economic indicator is important for this particular stock. Let's see if the AI agrees.
Okay, that's interesting. So which one is better?
Well, they both have pros and cons, honestly. Data-driven can uncover things you never would have thought of, but hypothesis-driven lets you combine your market knowledge with the power of AI.
I see what you mean. I'm curious. What about you listening? Which one are you drawn to? Are you a data explorer, or do you like to test out theories? Now, before we get too deep into the AI stuff, we got to make sure our data is squeaky clean, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Chapter 3 is all about getting down and dirty with the data.
And here's a crazy thing. Even the really expensive data sets, the commercial ones, they can be messed up. They can have errors or missing stuff, and that can totally ruin your AI models.
Yeah, it's like trying to bake a cake with bad ingredients. It doesn't matter how good the recipe is,
Oh,
right?
that's
You're going to get a bad cake.
So yeah, that pre-processing step is super important. Even if it's not the most glamorous part, it's like they say, garbage in, garbage out.
Totally.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things they do to prep the data? I know they talk about normalization and standardization.
Right.
Those sound kind of complicated.
Well, think of it like this. You're trying to compare apples and oranges. You need to find a way to put them on the same scale so you can actually compare them, right?
Ah, I see.
That's what normalization and standardization do. They get your data onto a level playing field so your AI can understand it.
Makes sense. So we've got the data all prepped and ready to go. Now it's time to find those hidden relationships, those secret connections that give you an edge in the market.
Right. And chapter 4, that's where we learn about co-integration.
Now that's a cool concept.
It really is.
It's like finding out that two totally unrelated things actually move together in a predictable way.
Yeah.
Like imagine you discover that. The price of gold and the number of sunny days in some random place are somehow connected.
It's a great example.
It sounds crazy, but what if you could actually see that pattern in a chart?
They'd be super valuable.
It would.
It's like having a cheat code for the market.
Totally. So the book also talks about statistical tests,
Yeah.
like the augmented Dickey-Fuller test, which I'll admit I had to Google.
Oh, yeah, that one's a classic.
But the basic idea is these tests can help you be sure that the relationships you're seeing are actually real and not just random.
Exactly. It helps you separate the signal from the noise.
Okay, so we've prepped our data, we've found some hidden connections. Now it's time for the really fun stuff, right? The AI algorithms themselves.
Let's go.
Chapter 5 is like opening up this giant toolbox full of amazing AI tools.
We've got linear and polynomial regression, decision trees, SVMs, hidden Markov models, and of course, neural networks.
Wow, it's a lot.
It is. But the book does a really good job of explaining each one without getting too technical.
That's good because I'm not a math whiz.
You don't have to be.
So the real fun starts when we see how they actually use these things, right?
Yeah, that's coming up next. We'll see them in action in some real trading scenarios.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now that we've got all the basics down, let's see how these AI techniques actually work in real trading.
Yeah. Chapter 6 is where the action is. They've got all these examples, each one showing a different trading challenge.
Yeah.
It's like a front row seat to the AI trading show, you know.
Totally.
They've got a great mix of examples, too.
They really do. We see classic techniques like regression, and then we see some cutting-edge stuff with neural networks, and even some really cool combinations like using SVMs with something called wavelet forecasting for Forex trading. That one was wild.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's start with something a bit simpler, like using regression for trend scanning.
Right.
That's like a classic technique, but still really effective.
It is.
Basically, you're trying to find assets that are moving in a clear direction, either up or down, and then you ride that wave until it changes.
Think of it like drawing a line through a price chart. If the price is consistently above that line, it's trending up. If it drops below, it might be reversing. The AI basically draws that roadmap for you.
That's a great way to put it. And you could do this on different time frames too, right?
You can, yep.
You can look for short-term trends, like using minute or hourly data. Or you can zoom out and find those longer-term trends using daily or weekly data.
It all depends on your trading style and how much risk you like. Someone who likes long-term trends might look at monthly charts. But a day trader might be glued to the 5-minute chart.
Right. So even with a simple technique like regression, there's a lot of flexibility.
Definitely.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about using neural networks for regime detection.
Ah, yes.
Remember how we were saying the market can be like a roller coaster? Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's crazy.
I do, yeah.
Those volatility regimes.
Yeah.
Knowing when the market is about to go wild or when it's going to chill out for a bit seems super valuable.
Having a sixth sense for those mood swings, and neural networks, they're really good at picking that up.
Really?
They can analyze tons of data like prices, volume, even news sentiment. And they can find those subtle shifts in volatility.
So it's like they're learning to read the market's mind. And they can tell us if we're in for a bumpy ride or a smooth one.
Exactly. And once they learn those patterns, they can actually predict when those regime shifts are going to happen. It's like having an early warning system for market turbulence.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I'm convinced. Neural networks are pretty cool. So we've seen AI finding trends, predicting market moods. What else can it do? What other tricks does this book have up its sleeve?
Well, let's dive into the deep end a bit and talk about that SVM with wavelet forecasting example we mentioned before.
Oh yeah, the Forex one. That one sounded pretty complex.
It does, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Imagine you're listening to music.
Okay, I'm listening.
You've got the melody, the rhythm, all those instruments playing together. Wavelet forecasting is kind of like breaking that music down into its individual frequencies.
Oh, so like
Right.
separating the bass from the vocals, the drums from the guitar.
Exactly. And with Forex, that's really useful because currencies move based on things that happen at different speeds. You've got long-term economic trends, short-term news, even trading patterns within a single day. They all happen at the same time.
So it's like we're seeing all those different layers of influence.
Right. And when you combine that with SVMs, which are great at spotting patterns, you can build a powerful system that can predict not only which way a currency is going to move, but also when it's going to move and how much.
That's wild. It's like
Yeah.
having a crystal ball that tells you everything.
It's pretty cool.
It is. So the book, it actually shows you how to build a system like this step by step.
It does. It's really impressive.
So we've seen AI tackling trends,
Yeah.
regimes, Forex. What other trading problems does this book help us solve?
Oh, there's more. It goes into some really interesting stuff with alpha generation and dividend harvesting. Remember how we talked about using data-driven techniques to find those hidden
I
relationships?
do, yeah.
Well, imagine using that to find stocks that are about to increase their dividend payouts.
Oh, that's interesting. So the AI could analyze, like, historical dividend data, company financials, maybe even news sentiment, to find those companies that are likely to reward their shareholders.
Exactly. It's like having your own AI analyst, sifting through mountains of data to find those hidden gems.
I like it.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The book goes even deeper into how AI can help find patterns that humans might miss, which can lead to better investments.
That's amazing. The possibilities are endless. This book really opens up a whole new world for trading.
It does. And it's a reminder that AI isn't just for the big guys anymore. With tools like QuantConnect and AWS, anyone can start exploring this stuff.
It's like AI trading is becoming democratized, which is awesome.
It really is.
So if you're feeling inspired, I highly recommend checking out this book. You never know, you might be the one to develop the next game-changing AI trading strategy. We've seen AI do some pretty incredible things like spotting trends, predicting those market mood swings, even finding hidden dividend gems. But this book doesn't stop there. It goes even further. In the last few chapters, it talks about not just predicting the market itself, but predicting how well our own strategies will work.
Predicting their effectiveness.
Whoa, hold on. My brain is already overloaded. How can we predict how well our strategies will work in the future?
It's like AI on another level. We're not just using it to make decisions, we're using it to judge how good those decisions will be.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but still a bit confused.
Imagine you've built this amazing strategy. Maybe it uses a super complex neural network, and it's been killing it, making good trades. But here's the thing. The market changes all the time. How do you know your strategy will keep working tomorrow, next week, or even next month?
Yeah, that's the thing about the markets, right? What worked yesterday might not work today.
Exactly. And that's where predicting strategy effectiveness comes in. Instead of just looking at past performance, we can use AI to build models that look at all kinds of things that could affect our strategy down the road.
So things like market volatility, economic news, that kind of stuff.
All that, yep. But we can go even further. We can look at what other traders are doing. Are big institutions buying or selling? Are individual investors getting too optimistic or pessimistic? All these things can give us clues about where the market's heading and whether our strategy is still a good fit.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
Having a weather forecast for our trading strategy. We can check it to see if there are any storms coming or if we're good to go.
I like that analogy.
And just like with the weather, it's not about being 100% right. It's about understanding the chances, the likelihood that our strategy will work in a specific market environment.
Right. It's all about probabilities.
So if our AI forecast is telling us there's a good chance our strategy is going to tank, we might want to change things up a bit. Maybe we trade less, tweak some settings, or even just sit on the sidelines for a bit.
Exactly. It's all about using AI to make smarter decisions, manage risk better, and ultimately be more profitable.
Okay, that all sounds amazing. But I imagine building these kinds of predictive models is pretty tough.
It's definitely not easy. You need tons of data, powerful algorithms, and a deep understanding of both markets and AI. But this book, it lays it all out for you.
It does.
It shows you the key ideas and walks you through how to build these models using real tools and techniques.
So it's like a roadmap to building your own AI-powered crystal ball for your trading strategy.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And it shows that even though this is still a new area, it has massive potential.
It does. As we wrap up this deep dive into AI trading, I'm really blown away by how much this technology can change things.
Me too. It's
Yeah.
a game changer for sure. But just like with any powerful tool, we need to be careful and use it ethically.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We've seen how AI can help us make better trades, manage risk, and even predict how our strategies will do.
Yeah.
But it's not magic, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to make us all millionaires overnight.
Right.
And it definitely won't replace human intuition and experience.
Absolutely. AI is a tool, a very powerful one, but still just a tool. We need to use it responsibly and keep learning as we go.
That's why I love this book. It doesn't just teach you the technical stuff. It makes you think critically about AI's role in trading. And it encourages ethical practices.
It does.
So, listener, if all this has sparked your interest in AI trading, I can't recommend this book enough. It's a fantastic guide for anyone who wants to learn about this exciting field.
It really is. And remember, this is only the beginning. AI trading is always changing, so stay curious, keep learning, and never stop exploring. Maybe you'll be the one to come up with the next big AI trading breakthrough.
That's right. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI trading.
I can't believe how much we covered.
It's been an amazing journey.
It has. We hope you're feeling informed and inspired to take your own AI trading journey to the next level.
Until next time, happy trading and keep that learning going.
And never stop exploring.